Shalom, welcome back. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, praises, and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to your Akim that's pushing his word in sincerity and in truth. Back with another lesson, and this is going to be another article. This is from NPR, and the title of this is Imagine Another American Civil War, but this time in every state. All right, so hey, the powers that be are pushing this narrative, but also you can see the division everywhere you go, man. All right, I got a guy at work who believes that just because I'm a so-called black guy that I'm a blue Democrat, this, that, and the other. I ain't for none of that shit. But he always telling me that there's a lot of secret Trumpsters here, and they're trying to take away your right to all this other bullshit. And like I'll be like, yeah, whatever, man. But even in that small, example, that's division, man. More and more division than ever. And these people are still going nuts about this whole insurrection thing with Trump that happened, I believe, over a year ago. But anyway, we're going to jump right into the article, grab a couple scriptures, and that's going to be it because, this place has to come to an end, man. And one of the heaviest signs of this place coming to an end is division. It says, not long ago, the idea of another American Civil War seemed outlandish. These days, the notion has not only gone mainstream, it seems to be suddenly everywhere. Business Insider published a poll on October 20th saying a majority of Americans believe the U.S. was already in the midst of a cold civil war. Then last fall, the University of Virginia Center of Politics released a poll finding that a majority of people who voted for Donald Trump in 2020 now wanted their state to secede from the Union. Right? And I've been calling for that for a while. That you're going to see states succeed, man. All right? Especially over these mandates and this, these lockdowns. It says the UVA data also showed a stunning 41% of those who voted for Joe Biden in 2020 also said it might now be time to split the country. Researchers have found such downbeat assessments of America's democracy are especially salient among the young. Last month, the Institute of Politics at Harvard's Kennedy School published a poll that found half of voting age Americans under 30 thought our democracy was in trouble of failing. A third also said they expected there to be a civil war within their lifetimes. And a quarter thought at least one state would succeed. All right? So the more one hears this particular drumbeat, the louder it becomes. So they're starting to see this everywhere with these polls, and even with how people are reporting the news, man. A red versus blue, man, which is really nothing more than the elite using both sides to move forward the narrative, to move forward the agenda, even though they got both sides in their pocket. Let's keep going. The last year, the University of Maryland and Washington Post produced a poll saying that 1/3 of Americans thought violence against the government was sometimes justified, a belief they found even more widely held among Republicans and independents. According to the Post, just about 1 in 10 held their view in the 1990s. So it's going to get ugly. It's going to get violent when people see, their hopes and dreams go down that toilet. But let's get into the scriptures. All right. The first scripture I'm going to get is Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her in pain. If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. So I'm bringing this out because there's no going back, man. That whole saying and that propaganda of the new normal is really accurate, man. This is the new normal, and they're going to keep going forward, imposing new ways to come down like a dragon. All right, with these draconian mandates, taking your so-called freedoms. All right, forcing you to have this and that just to work, to go here, to have this, to show this type of paperwork, to get in here, and it's eventually going to go digital. So all these things are prophecies playing out, and Babylon is never going back. It says, forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Right. Eventually this place is going to be wiped out, destroyed. This is Mystery Babylon, aka America, according to the scriptures. This place is going to be done away with. All right. In the thermonuclear war, also whom Esau Edom, he calls and deems these things UFOs, but these are really the chariots of God. When they return, they're also going to set this place ablaze. All right. But the division is nothing more than just another mark or another indicator of what's coming. All right. Let's keep going. Let's go to the book of Mark 3:23. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? All right. Verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. So just like this NPR report is reporting, everybody is looking towards what? A civil war, which is hardcore division. Doing polls on how the country think sometimes violence against the leaders is the correct thing to do. So you see what... Yeah, Salakia. Let's keep going. It says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but half an end. And you look at the Western powers that these Edomites control, they are at each other's throats, man. All right? The citizenry is against the governments. The people within the countries are against each other. And this is going to lead to the end of this nightmare, this kingdom. It says, what do people mean by civil war? Let's assume it would not be a return to the 1860s when 11 southern states left the Union and fought a 4-year war to assert their right to do so and preserve the practice of slavery, which had about 4 million African Americans in bondage at the time, which these are Israelites this is talking about. The American Civil War cost lives of at least 600,000 Americans and contributed to the deaths of many thousands more. It devastated the South economically and left most of those in the region who had been emancipated to lives of peonage and penury. Moreover, it did little to settle the constitutional issue of states' rights, a problematic point in our national conversation ever since. Salient in the struggles of civil rights and voting rights, it remains so in the squabbles of the mask and juice mandates of today. So I'm sure they're going to go into something called, they want to be federalized, meaning if it's a mandate from the federal government, it trumps your local state governments, which really America wasn't set up that way. You know, it was set up for that just whole call checks and balances. But this, I'm sure they're going to push this in the rest of this article. Let's see if we can jump down. It says, the rights of states to go their own way on fundamental issues are also still front and center in the Supreme Court, where abortion rights pose an immediate example. Texas and other states want to make the procedure all but unavailable, while much of the nation prefers the access granted nationwide by the courts Roe versus Wade. We already are seeing border war in individual states passing major legislation that differs considerably from that in other places, says Daryl West, Director of Governance Studies at the Brookings Institute, right? They note that the conflicts between entire states are not only a way civil war may emerge in our time, or even the most likely when and if that issue turns violent confrontations between local citizens and federal officers, or between contingent groups of citizens. The clash might well take place far closer to home, right? As Wes and Gail write, today's toxic atmosphere makes it difficult to negotiate on important issues, which makes people angry with federal government and has helped create a winner-take-all approach to politics. When the stakes are so high, people are willing to consider extraordinary means to achieve their objectives, right? So, like I said, the federal, they're going to build their new world order, and they're going to have their government body where all this thing is going to be locked down and controlled from the top down, all right? this narrative or this falsehood of, oh, I get to vote for who I want to be in control. It's bullshit anyway. The politicians and the leaders are selected, right, not elected. But it's really finna be more and more evident as the civil war goes hot. But let's go back to the scriptures. Let's get this in the book of Daniel. Actually, not Daniel. Let's get this one right here. Let's get Isaiah 24:11. There is crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Right? And you can tell and see that from just being out here, man. These people are at each other's throats. Everybody, extra rude. The scriptures say the love of many shall wax cold. So we're in these times, man. All right, we are in these times. All right, and then it goes on to say America has an extraordinary number of guns and private militias. They write how many. They cite the National Shooting Sports Foundation estimated 434 million firearms in civilian possession in the U.S. right now. There will be 1.3 guns per person. So they know when it goes down, it's going to be ugly, man. It is going to be ugly, right? And these Americans, right, are probably going to be last to really get riled up. But once they do get riled up, and this, the steam blows off the pot, hey, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong, as they say, man. Hey, this place is going to be over. But you got to understand, at the end of the day, the Lord set this man up. So eventually he's going to be taken down. This is Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand of the word, by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of man, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of man, right? So we know we got a base man ruling, all right, and he's meant to be set up to fulfill these prophecies, man. All right. So get ready for more and more that word mandate, more and more people losing their jobs, more and more division, and eventually a civil war is going to brew and kick off, man. All right, because the elites and the powers that be, the upper elite of Esau, they're not slowing down, they're not stopping, man. Hey, they got a deadline and agenda. All right, but that's the point of this lesson. Just want to bring something out about they're pushing that civil war heavy in the news. And be prepared. All right, get your mind straight, stay prayed up, and understand that Babylon is coming to an end. With that, I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Shem Shai, and Shalom the next time.